Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. Just want to send you guys a quick video, just a quick food for thought. Every single one of us can make a difference in someone else's lives. You're bound to be surrounded by hundreds, if not thousands or countless people every week, every month, throughout your lifetime. But as things have been getting tougher and tougher, I guess I just want to ask you guys to consider that you might be the only example of hope. You might be the only example of grace. You might be the only example of Christ that someone else gets to see. So my question is, how far are you willing to go for a life? How far are you willing to go for a soul? There are certain moments that I don't think I'll ever be able to forget. In Bethlehem, ministering to a Palestinian Muslim individual, getting to walk him through salvation and accepting Jesus into his life. I guess I just don't know how many of us have the patience to do that. And it's not that I did it or that my mom did it, or just not to give us, a pat on the back for that. It's just we were willing to. The moment presented itself and we went for it. There are opportunities that present themselves if you're willing to take those opportunities. For example, this was a while ago. I was at a factory and this lady was just outpouring how her sister-in-law had just gotten shot 9 times. And that they had spoken with multiple pastors and not a single one wanted to go and pray for the soul of a human being that had gotten shot. This young lady was involved in drug trafficking, but also this young lady was involved in a lifestyle choice. She was gay. She was lesbian. So none of the pastors that were asked to go and pray went to pray for a soul. And then I just hear right here, like, you go. The moment she says, we've asked multiple pastors and none of them wanted to go pray for her. Instantly it was like, you go. If none will go, you go. I find myself in situations like that, where others aren't stepping up to the plate, then I'm stuck fixing it. It's not fun. It's not easy. I mean, that particular topic at hand, I don't, modern day pastors don't even preach about Sodom and Gomorrah because of fear of being politically correct or something. I mean, we got to understand, we got to allow pastors to be able to preach about the fact that God doesn't like, sodomy, God doesn't like homosexuality. God doesn't like adultery. God doesn't like lying. God doesn't like stealing. God doesn't like killing. God doesn't like, there's a lot of things that God doesn't like. And they are sorted out in different categories, Pastors need to be allowed to preach, and they need to have the confidence in God that it's all right to preach on this stuff. So it's a hard topic, So when no pastors are going and praying for this young lady, God tells me, you go. So why am I doing why am I doing what pastors with congregations won't do? Because there's a lesson. I guess the point I'm trying to, the lesson, the point, when Christ died on that cross, he died for the perfect, the righteous, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, or did he die for the lost, the drunks, the prostitutes, the sinners? Because he clearly told the Pharisees and Sadducees that these prostitutes and tax collectors are going to make it to heaven before you guys do, because they were willing to accept the message. You see, what happened in that hospital room is that a young lady who was away from God, who had just gotten shot 9 times, point blank. This young lady had gotten shot in the front, in the back, chest, the individuals robbed her money because she was dealing drugs, shot her front and back, and left her paralyzed. That's another point. I've seen her walking. I know that she's in a wheelchair, but it's almost like her miracle's calling out to me. But that's a whole nother topic. But here I find myself in the hospital praying. Well, first of all, I go there just, okay, God, I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I going? But I humble myself and listen to her family and listen to her. She pretty much clearly confesses out of her mouth that she wants to get right with God. She wants to be forgiven. So her soul was in the right place and time to be led to the Lord, to be led to the fact that, yes, she's a sinner and she's wanting to ask forgiveness. You see, I can understand God punishing Sodom and Gomorrah because they didn't want to turn from their ways. But this one lady, this one individual, she did. That one Palestinian gentleman, He did. For you, it could be that one, whatever person that you didn't think wanted salvation. Salvation is not for the perfect individual that has their life all figured out. The purpose of ministry, the purpose of the gospel, is to help those that need it. Does that make sense? The whole point Christ died on that cross was to save those that were willing to accept the gift of salvation. So, I guess thank God for coronavirus. Thank God that churches are looking for different ways of outreach, different ways of ministering, because we are not supposed to be a country club. We're not supposed to be a salt shaker. When God says, be the salt of the earth, you're not supposed to be in your salt shaker, in your own little country club, excluding yourself from the whole world. You're supposed to be in the world, but not of the world. Your faith has to be able to endure being side by side in your workplace with the world. But your mindset, your thought process, your integrity, your virtue, not being contaminated by the world, but instead you being a light unto the world. The world could easily get worse and worse and worse. But it's up to you and 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 you, each and every one of you, and me. But mainly this message is for you, so it's each one of you. You can make the difference in one life at a time. Just think about that. When you wake up tomorrow, God could have a soul that He predestined for only you to save, for only you to minister to. So, will you help them? Or will you say, sorry, I was busy. I had no time. I mean, your salvation is granted. Is granted. Your salvation is paid for. I've been up since 3 in the morning, so please forgive me. Your salvation is, you're saved. But wouldn't you want to share that? Wouldn't you want to save one more soul? God saved you, right? Think about being a blessing for someone else. As lost as they are, if their mindset is willing, you could be the only example of Christ that individual gets. God bless y'all. Have a great day.